What's up, what's up? It's your boy Corey B. So, if you're running a business, starting a business, launching a business, if you're in any aspect, form or fashion, working for yourself, you've got to remember to invest in yourself. Now, see, a lot of people say this, but I've noticed on the many platforms people talk about this. Frequently, people don't explain what all it means to invest in yourself. Sometimes they touch on it a little bit. Sometimes they touch on like a detail or something, but I don't feel like it's focused on enough, and I feel like it holds people back. So, if you're going to build a business, and it depends on what kind of business you're building, but ultimately you need the things that are going to make you successful in said business. If you need a certain type of, if you need clothing, if you need your teeth fixed, your hair fixed, different things like that. I mean, those things could be considered as, vain necessities or not necessities, but vain desires and unimportant. But if they make you feel confident when you're doing things like sales or trying to get, like maybe you're doing investments, but you need to, get deals to happen with people, and you need to be able to make mergers, and you need to be able to make acquisitions and things like that. And ultimately you've got to, have a dialogue with other people and convince them to do something that otherwise they may not be, doing. You may want to buy a property that's not necessarily for sale. You may want to merge your company with another person's company, and they may not even be interested in that from the jump, and you've got to convince them of doing so. If you're going to try to do things like this, you've got to be confident in yourself. And it may seem silly. It may seem really small. It may seem, like I said, to a lot of people, it may seem completely like an abstract thing. Like, why would you spend money on that? But it's who you are. It's what you're developing. You've got to have confidence in yourself. Like people, I know they talk about it all the time. Like different people have talked about the difference between different rappers and things like that. Like, oh, well, they spent all this money on this, but then you look at Zuckerberg, and what's Zuckerberg spending money on? He's wearing the same outfit every day. So it's like, and he's worth, 10 times what that rapper's worth. It's like, yeah, but maybe maybe his desire isn't to be worth what Zuckerberg is, but maybe, those things that he spends his money on, his bling bling, his car, whatever, those help to give him the confidence and the status, and it's a symbol. It's within the profession that he's chosen. Now, I'm not telling you to go become a rapper. I'm not telling you to buy a bunch of bling. I'm not telling you anything. I'm telling you, other than whatever it is that you need to feel confident in what you're doing and be successful, do that. I'm very particular about my hair. I don't at all. I feel like I get a pretty reasonably priced haircut, but I'm definitely not the cheapest haircut. But I love my barber. I love the atmosphere. I love the vibe. I love the people that I go there. If you're ever in the Austin area, Skinny's Barbershop. Guys, they're amazing. All of them. John owns the place, and my personal barber that I go to every time, I mean, he's not my barber, but the only barber cuts my hair is Matt. But anyways, that's a thing that I don't miss. Occasionally I do, life happens, but ultimately it helps me to feel a type of way about myself when I'm doing videos, when I'm interacting with people, that I'm not a mess. Sometimes I rock a hat. I enjoy wearing hats, but if my hair's a mess, then that hat doesn't sit right. And like I said, these are silly small things, but they're not. They're really not. And then it goes beyond that. Not just investing in the things that you need from a day-to-day, silly little things like that I'm telling you aren't silly, but they seem that way. Be investing in your knowledge, spending time learning more about your trade, honing your skills in what you're doing, reading more up on what you're doing, interacting with people who are better than you are at what you're doing. I mean, you should have mentors. You should constantly leveling up. You should constantly growing as an individual and in your craft. Then invest in yourself in ensuring that you have some downtime. And I'm someone who takes a little downtime, but my boys help to keep that in perspective, and Kimberly helps to keep that in perspective. But I'm a person who grinds a lot, and I encourage you to grind a lot. But at the same time, there's got to be somewhat of a balance. You got to take that downtime, invest that time in your personal life, so you got some time with your family, so you know what you're doing it for. Because if you get no time with your family, what are you doing all this for in the first place? Okay, and then the other aspect, which is a hard one in the beginning too, when you're trying to grow a business, is being able to pay yourself. If you don't pay yourself, then you're missing it. If you're growing a business and you never give yourself a paycheck or a salary, you've missed it. Reevaluate your budget, reevaluate your company, get a financial advisor to help go through your budget and help your company's assets and figure out what you're missing and what you're overlooking, because you need to be getting paid. Otherwise, what are you doing it for? Like I said, these things, I'd love to dive into them more. Please comment below. Let's discuss, man, if you got comments. But invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Make sure physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, that you're getting what you need. Be confident in your job and what you're doing. All right. Be sure you subscribe, ding the bell, get your notifications. I'm your boy, Corey B. I got some more coming for you. Y'all stay tuned. Later.